Hey, this is Shantae Moore, and you're now listening to The Biz with D.
What's going on, everybody? Thank you for all tuning in to The Biz with D right now. My Fierce Swings Radio, of course, where we always are bringing the hottest and fiercest, entertainers onto our platform. And we got Shantae Moore with us. I mean, if you guys don't know who Shantae Moore is, please don't make me start singing. Please don't make me start singing down the song show. But y'all should know. I mean, Shantae's got it made at home. It's all right. I mean, and she's beautiful, and she has a phenomenal voice, and she's with us. What's going on, Shantae?
Oh, not a whole lot. It's been a long week this week. I lost my brother this week, so it's been a pretty tough one emotionally. But I'm doing okay. I'm back home and back in the routine of taking my kids to school.
Well, I'm so sorry to hear about your loss, and I'm just, glad that you're just kind of trying to move along with life, because that's very hard.
Oh, yeah.
Losing somebody.
It was surprising and difficult, but we haven't had a lot of deaths in our family, which is really great. And the couple we've had recent, my grandmother was 89, and my grandfather was like 93 years old, so we couldn't be too upset that they were leaving us at that point. But so we haven't had a real serious death in like 18 years. My mom passed away 18 years ago, so we've been blessed, even though this week was a difficult one. We have a very close-knit family, and we're doing okay. We know God is in control of everything, no matter what happens. So we're okay.
Absolutely. That is so true. And speaking of God and, just church, here's a little fun fact where I get into the real question. You go to church, to the same church as a good friend of mine.
Okay.
And you know her. Her name is Vonzell.
Oh, Vonzell Solomon. Love her.
Yes.
Love her.
Yeah, I just wanted to share that little fun fact that I know. And, I mean, you grew up, singing in church, correct?
Well, I sang in the choir. I didn't lead any songs. I was just in the choir part, so I wasn't very vocal as far as I wasn't very vocal as far as like solos and things like that. My family was very, very clear about me not being able to sing that well. So they were like, shh, be quiet. And so I wasn't up front, but I was definitely backing everybody else up.
That's what's up. And I mean, how would you say, this question, you probably get this question a lot, but how would you say, just singing in church, being in a choir, like, really helps?
Well, what I loved about it is that I love to sing no matter what. It wasn't about singing the solo. It really was about harmony and just being a part of the sound. And what I love is that it's also, I think it taught me to make sure that I sing what I believe. A lot of people will sing a song and they'll be like, that was just a song somebody wrote. For me, if I don't believe in it and it's not something that I really stand for, I really can't sing it. I really can't do it. It really feels strange because people take away what you sing as who you are anyway. And if you sing something that you don't believe in or something that isn't your personality or your way, it's like false advertisement to me.
It is. It is. And that's what I even say, because I do some songwriting myself. I even say, and when I write my music, I said it has to be from what I know. It can't be nothing about popping a Molly and all this other stuff. First of all, I grew up in the suburbs. I know nothing about that crap. I have to, you got to be truthful because no one, 9 times out of 10, really knows about that life.
No, it's true. It's true. I don't even know what a Molly is.
I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm like, I know Miley Cyrus, not Molly.
Right.
Like who the frick is she? But that's phenomenal. So I just had to ask you that. Now, your new album, can I say phenomenal? One of my favorite albums from you. More is more. Just, you're welcome. Coming up with the concept for this, like, what state of mind were you in?
Oh, God. A lot of different ones. This album is, it took about 5 years in the making. I wrote very, very intimately, very personally in this record, and it feels very exposing listening to it, even especially when people are around. singing it live has been very interesting, very emotional. But it's the last 5 years of my life. It really is. It's all about how my heart has been broken and mended, and my desires and my weaknesses, and what people say about me, and what I think about that. It's very interesting, very, very interesting album for me. Very exposing.
It definitely is. I mean, you have songs about, breakup issues and just, talk about your emotions, and you're really, giving your all with it. I mean, I know you're still going through coping with, the divorce process. Like, how would you say, like, you're getting along with it? Because it's not, it's not easy.
Well, we're divorced for sure, but the aftermath of all of that with my son, it becomes emotionally tiring, because you want to make sure that I want to make sure he's okay more than anything. He is all right, and he wants us together. Not like, get back together, but he wants us on the same side all the time. But it's not the way it is. There's situations that come up that he and his father and I don't agree. And right now, I'm still angry, and I realize this, and I embrace it. It's okay. I'm going to get through it. I'm not still, we're not at the place where we're arguing with each other, but I'm upset about things that have happened. I'm tired of having issue with him at all.
Right.
I wish we were past it in such a way that I would never have to even worry about it. My son would never have to worry about it. But we're not past it in all ways. So, we got to deal with life, and that's the way it is. You can't get past it till you're past it. So here we are. But one day at a time is all I get. That's really all you get, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with the process.
Definitely. Well, it's good to hear, because I know a lot of women, they struggle, especially when that person was in the limelight as well, and it's just like it becomes too much. So I just wanted to, ask about that.
Really, that part of it to me is not the worst part. It was there were personal situations. Him being who he is had nothing to do with why we're not through everything, or why there's still residue still there, It has to do with being a human being. It has to do with time, healing wounds. And you got to take the time out. You got to take the time and go through it. Because sometimes people pretend, and they got this hidden pain and hidden anger that come up, and they just start chopping folks' head off. And I'm like, just take your time, work through it, be honest, because that's really what it's about. Is if you have an issue and you hide it, even when you're married to somebody, people are like, oh, I'm fine, and you're going, you're really not fine. You're really not fine. And that's when other stuff piles on top of that, and it becomes something ugly. So I'm pretty honest with myself, and I'm not through it. I'm not over it. I can pretty much say, you know what, yeah, I'm still a little teed off right here, so you might well leave me alone.
Exactly. So now, you have a song that's called Talking in My Sleep, which is one of my absolute favorites. Shantae, like, woo! Yes, ma'am. That song right there, like, vocally, everything, like, you're just giving it your all. Like, how'd you come up with that record? Because it's so beautiful.
Thank you. I co-wrote that song with Sam Waters, the guy from TikTok, You Don't Stop. You know that song? I Want to Sex It Up. He is a great writer. It was a concept he came up with, and we both were talking about how, we've talked in our sleep before, and that sometimes you deal with people and you're married, doesn't mean you're dead. You see people and you're going, ooh, that man is fine. And we started talking about how you deal with, even though you're with somebody, you're not going to cheat on them. But doggone it, a good dream is nice. You're like, oh, my heavens, I had a lovely dream. So we just started talking about how, different times I've talked in my sleep, and he's talked in his sleep, or other people we've heard about have spoken in his sleep. So that's really where it came from, really seriously. It really did come from talking in his sleep.
Wow. And you know what? I feel like everybody can relate to that. Like, this is what, we were just talking about, having those records that are meaningful and that people can relate to. Because this is one. We all have had that one dream where we just envision this one person who ain't real, but they look damn good, and you just be like,
and they ain't even thinking about you.
or they are, and they ain't thinking nothing about you, and you just be like,
right. That's what I say. They ain't not thinking about you, but you like, oh my God, that's gorgeous. Or they're walking by with their husband or wife, and you sitting there going, dang, that's fine.
Yeah, mine be the girl walking with her boyfriend, and I'm like, damn, he's so lucky.
Oh, right.
Freaking lucky.
That's so funny.
I'd be like, how? And I'd be like, you know what? God's got somebody for me.
Yes, he does. No matter who. That is hilarious.
And let's talk about R&B Diva just a little bit. Notice I said just a little bit. I really don't like talking about reality television shows too much. But, I mean, that was a great platform, you know, for you to come out and definitely to promote the album more. What made you decide to come on the show?
Well, because it was about music. They talked about how this is going to be a process between the beginning and the end, that we're going to talk about your lives, but we're on our way to a particular ending. And at first they didn't say what it was, but they had it in mind already, and they were like, you know, it's going to be really great because the musicality of it is the point. It's not just, I'm going to follow you around your kitchen, and here's your kids, here you going to school, you cooking some grits. I didn't want to just be on film. I didn't want that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was really happy that they had not necessarily a theme, but a point. Right. It was about our music. It was about regenerating as artists, and I didn't know all of the people who were going to be there. I had some ideas of what, you know, people said, but nobody else was really signed on at that point. We said, yeah, I said yes with my manager, Cheryl Copterbros. So it was just wonderful to have music be the forefront. Because I didn't want to just be followed around just because I sing, or just because I'm a girl, or just because I'm a parent. There's a lot of parents, there's a lot of girls, there's a lot of people out there doing things, and unless it's about something, I'm really not a reality TV watcher. I'm really not.
Right. And I can understand because, I mean, the way that they edit these shows, I mean, even with, you know, your show, it's just a lot of depicting that is being done, which is not exactly what it is, and you got these fancy.
Well, I'm going to stop you. I'm going to stop you now. Because, yes, it is. What you see is what I saw. That's what happened. And the drama that was there is the drama that was there. The way people acted, you can't put things in people's mouths. If somebody sock you in the eye, then that's somebody socking you in the eye. Now, the reasons why somebody sock you in the eye, if you see that on a reality TV show, may be different than what they have depicted. But in our show, it's not a whole lot of stuff we did. We sat, we talked, we ate, we practiced. Well, we tried to practice. And then we rehearsed for the show, and then we had a show. It's not a whole lot of other stuff going on in this show. The show is what it is about. It's about going from one place to the next place to the Diva logs at the end. Some people I know are upset because of the way things are being, quote-unquote, edited. But I was there. And what you see is what I saw. And if it was a joke, it was a joke off camera, too. Because we all acted the same way off camera as you see us acting on camera.
I know that's right. So you pretty much would say that you're satisfied with how that editing is, for the most part.
For every part. If something came out my mouth, I'm responsible for it. If I said something that's out the way, then I'd have to say, eek. You know what? I shouldn't have said that, but I did say that. We're not changing clothes in the scenes. We're not going red, green, orange, red, orange, red, green, orange shirts. Mm-hmm. That's not what happened. We're standing there having conversations, sitting there having conversations. You can't have the whole conversation because one of the scenes was 45 minutes. We sit and have one conversation for 45 minutes, so it's impossible to have everything
right
on the entire 45-minute show, because really that's all the camera time you get per week, and we work 6 days a week, so it's impossible to have everything. But I was there, and I'm a very fair person. I'm a very honest person. I'm not going to lie for nobody. I'm not going to hell for nobody. And I'm not acting a fool for nobody either. So when you see and when you hear what you have seen each week, trust me, I'm sweating like y'all sweating. They didn't show us the scenes. They did not show us the scenes after we recorded them. I'm watching on, tomorrow night, just like you, going, what did we say? Oh, my God, I forgot I said that. Oh, no. Intense. And it's not lovely. All of it, the good, the bad, and the ugly. But honestly, the good, bad, and the ugly is us. We was good, we was bad, and sometimes we was ugly. It's the truth.
I feel you on that. And, I mean, just, really speaking about, stuff that was going on with the show. I mean, we did an interview with Kelly, and she kind of told us that you guys are going on tour now.
We're not going on tour.
Oh, you're not going on tour?
No, there was no contract signed. So, again, people shouldn't say things that are not true just because they want them to be the truth.
Ooh.
If a contract gets signed and things get solidified and dates get solidified, then that's different. Right now, people want a lot. But you can't have what you don't have a contract for. And when there's no money put down to make a tour, you can't have one.
Wow. I hear you on that. You know what? Something told me to ask you about that whole thing. Not saying I'm calling Kelly a liar or anything, but I'm just...
Well, you know what? You can watch the show, and they'll show you in black and white when they rewind. When people don't tell the truth, they have a way of showing you on film, okay, you said this, and then wait a minute, you said that, didn't you? Nobody can make you say two different things about the same thing. I'm sorry, and I don't like it that people are blaming other people for the things they do and the things that they say. I'm just as shocked and surprised as the next girl that things happened the way they did. But also I think it's really interesting because I was there. I was there from the beginning. And Kelly was first. Yes, she was first signed as the R&B Diva LA. I was the second one that was signed for R&B Divas LA. When we were told, Kelly, present this idea for the monologues, for the things that's like a vagina monologue meets blah, 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 blah. Present this idea to Shantae. Then you and Shantae will present this idea to the rest of the girls. And if you watch real closely, you will see. She says, and it's an idea I presented. She didn't never once say it's an idea I created, because she didn't. But she's very, very clever. I will give that to her. She's very, very clever how she presents herself on this thing and the way she says it on screen. You can't bust everybody out when you're doing a show because it is what it is. You take what you take. It is a show that is produced and directed, but it's not scripted. The only thing that was already set in motion is what the end of it was going to be. Otherwise, I wouldn't have done it with some aimless ending. I would never have done the show without some kind of knowledge of what was going to be done in the end. It was all about how we created this thing that was the vagina monologue meets blah, 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 blah. Got it. But I would never have done an aimless show. Never. And how, if it's your idea, how are you not there? How are you not ending your show on your show? I'm sorry. It just
I feel you. I'm just like I'm just in shock because you know what? I feel not like I'm in shock that what you're saying because it's all true. Because I'm sitting back and I'm looking at I'm sitting there looking back at the finale myself, and I'm just like, excuse me,
And if it was her thing, honestly, at the end, how could they film ours and not hers? If it was her idea, her show, her everything, doggone it, I'd be suing these people if it was my thing, my show, my idea, and you did it without me. I don't know about that one. I don't know about that.
I don't know neither.
Well, what I do know is that I loved what happened as far as our Diva logs at the end.
Yes.
Our girls worked really, really hard, and we were very happy with the outcome, even though you didn't get to see all of them yet. Later on, keep watching. What I love it is that they have embraced so much of the artistry, and each individual artist on the show has been able to shine. We were able to do us. You know what I mean? We didn't have to turn into anybody else from anybody else's show. We were able to be ourselves, tell our own story, and I love how each of the young ladies were strong enough and bold and brave enough to get out there and really talk about things that have hurt and things that have shaped and molded them into the women that they are today. So, I don't know. I'm really, really proud of how we just stood up no matter what happened, because a lot of people could have fallen apart because Kelly left or Dawn left. They could have been like, you know what is the show without Kelly and Dawn? The show is us. It's each individual, but it's us collectively as well. And I'm so glad that the four of us stood together and made it better than one could make it. But if one stood at the end, that would have been a bold little story. But I didn't want that to be me, but I was willing for it to be me. If everybody else falls apart, I'm like, I don't do that. I don't do fall apart. I'm sorry. That's not who I am. Don't do it.
I hear you on that. And you know what? That that whole monologue that you guys did was phenomenal. I mean, just getting it all together and just being able to, be honest. Because, I mean, you're a very honest person, even with your album, More is More, that everybody needs to go get as they listen to this. As Von Zell would say, I'm going to slap you to sleep. I'll tell you about her whole slapping to sleep thing after we.
And who says that?
Von Zell.
Von Zell is so crazy.
Why
is she so banana? She is one of the sweetest, craziest people I've ever met in my life.
Mm-hmm.
She is such a sweetie pie. My God.
Yeah.
She says, slap you to sleep. That's hilarious. I'm going to keep that.
And I'm just like, I just love the fact of honestly, like, just getting that all together, because I'm sure there's a lot more that we didn't see, because, I mean, you see this.
There is.
You felt
they're going to show it. They're going to show it, though. That's what I think is really great. They're going to go back and show a special of, if not every bit of it, they're going to show most of each of our monologues. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, because that's what I wanted to see more of, because I was just watching. I'm like, I need more. I mean, like, in fact, no, I need to see this on the damn DVD.
That would be great, too.
That is phenomenal. So, I mean, let's kind of, backtrack and talk about, just first coming out and, like, the response that you got. Because, I mean, it was phenomenal. I mean, the numbers on Billboard are, like, crazy. We can go on and on. I mean, gold-selling artists. I mean, just all of that coming at once. I mean, not at once, but, kind of just coming to you as an artist. How does that make you feel? Like, were you like, wow, when it first happened, or were you just like, what were you feeling?
No, it was great. It was a dream come true. I've as a kid dreamt of, I dreamt of singing. My family was like, shut up because you can't sing. But it was what I wanted to do from childhood. So when my dream started coming true, and I was on Showtime at the Apollo, and first time on Soul Train, and those kind of monumental, just historical events that happened in my life, it was like a good Twilight Zone, It was the kind you go, what in the world? And it's better than you dream of, because all the details become real, and it's not some fantasy. It really becomes a reality. And just to continue to do what I do for a living, honestly, I don't think people get it. If you don't do what you love to do for a living, you're really missing out. You really are missing out, because I love it so much. I enjoy singing so much, and not just the see who I am, let me sparkle on stage part. I love writing all by myself in my room with nobody here but me and the music. I love it that music, I go to a studio all by myself with one producer, with an engineer, in there.
Right.
Turning on, clicking it on and off, recording me, harmonizing with myself, turning that alone moment into music I can hear back. The music I heard in my head, I get to hear back to myself. and drive home in my car with it. That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
From that point to having, people that I love and trust listening to it and going, oh, my God, you told me about that, or that's such a new idea, or I love that song, to the songs becoming a body of work and listening all together and watching how the theme of the album comes together. I love that. I love when you finish the record and you give it to the record company and they go, okay, here we go. We're going to put this on vinyl or whatever it was. And a long time ago it was vinyl. But anyway, put it on CD or DVD or it's going to be on Amazon. And even from that point, before it comes out, one of my favorite times is before it comes out, because when you're making a record and it's like having a baby, because it's so unique and there's so many special features and things that make that baby unique and so special to you because they're yours. And then the world gets to look. The world gets to listen and judge your baby. I don't like that part as much.
Mm-hmm.
It's really hard to have your baby come out and they go, ooh, that baby ugly, because you don't know what they're going to see. You see the 9 months of it being in your stomach and the kicks and all these beautiful, wonderful things that make oh, that's my baby's daddy ear. Those are mama's eyebrows. You see that? That's mama's eyebrows. And Uncle Jim, look at Uncle Jimmy's lips. That's Uncle Jimmy's lips. Oh, my God. And you see these things and you appreciate them because they're part of your history. They're part of your life. They reflect all of your love and who you are and all that beauty. But people don't hear that. People don't see that. When they look at a baby or they listen to a record, they take it right there for face value sometimes, and they don't appreciate it the way you do. So it's hard to unfold and unclench your little fist and let the world see it. But I'll take that too, because the next thing is making that music live on stage and making that come alive. It's like selling the product, It is about making people understand in some way, shape, or form how real it is to you and it becoming real to them. So I love the entire process. And then I get to sing and do this for a living. I get to go to work, sing a song, make somebody smile, laugh, reflect, whatever the case is, the emotion that goes with that. I get to do that and then go home.
Mm-hmm.
That's an amazing thing for a living. I ain't got to wake up and go, welcome to McDonald's, may I help you today? I don't have to do that. And I haven't had to do it for 20 plus years. So I am a blessed little somebody, and I don't take it for granted. I don't take it lightly. I don't